Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday, the 21st of December 2025. In today's Millwall news, a bit of a surprise announcement from the BBC today. We got this. This is from bbc.co.uk. Braintree sign Dudziak and Drake on loan. Drake, the singer? No, Ben Drake. So, Braintree Town have signed Arsenal midfielder Harrison Dudziak and Mill defender Ben Drake on initial 1-month loans. Dudziak, 19, has played 7 times for the Gunners under 21 side, scoring once after joining their academy in June 2016. And Drake, 20, joined Mill's under 21 setup last year, having come through the Sheffield United academy. Both are available for Sunday, that's today's National League fixture with Hartlepool. Hartlepool, where George Evans is on loan. So we have today, we didn't know beforehand, but we only found out afterwards, a Millwall versus Millwall loanee competition. So let's see how they got on. Let's go back. It was 0-0. So it was 0-0. George Evans did start the game. He started in goal for Hartlepool. You can't see him because he's on the right-hand side off of the screen. Ben Drake did start. They've listed him here as being a centre-back. I don't know if he played centre-back or this was a mistake from from sofascore.com. He has played centre-back for the under-21s, primarily a left-back. So, he did play centre-back. If he did, he probably did quite well because they kept a clean sheet against a very good team. Braintree at the bottom of the table, not in the relegation places, just above them, but they are very much in the fight. Obviously, there are 4 relegation places in the National League, and that is a rough old relegation contest in that division when there's 4 places to go down. We know about that from our League One days. It's not easy, is it? You're basically in threat of being relegated until about March, so you can never relax. But we have a clean sheet for Ben Drake and Braintree Town, and we have a clean sheet for Hartlepool and George Evans in goal. So how about that? And it seems, he wasn't substituted. Ben Drake played the full game. George Evans obviously played the full game. So there you go. We don't have a rating yet because the ratings come afterwards. They get the video of the game. They use a computer AI system on it, and then they get the ratings from that. So we'll have to wait maybe a day or 2 for that to happen. We've got him listed here. Yeah, it's not available at the moment. He's been on the bench for the first team in the EFL Cup game earlier this season. In the friendly games, he played bits and pieces, and last season he was on the bench as well. So that's Ben Drake. So there you go with that. And while we're here, let's just have a little look at George Evans and see how he's getting on. Haven't done that for a while. See, we do the loan watch, but we don't see the scores. And as you can see, 8.6 in November, 6.9, 6.9, clean sheet there, 7.0, 6.5. Even in a game that they lost 2-0, still managed to get 6.5. So seems like he's doing well, although his loan is due to finish on the 4th of January. Will that be extended, or has it already been announced it's been extended? I don't think it has it? But we'll wait to see. Obviously due to end, it says there 4th of January 2026, so we'll see how that works out. Now, moving on to this, a bit of a weird one. This is from Instagram, from an account called Trilogy Casting. And it's calling all Millwall fans. Trilogy Casting is collaborating with a men's deodorant brand to create bold, memorable online content. We're looking for die-hard Millwall FC fans to take part in a one-day shoot by the home stadium in January. We want big personalities, confident, outspoken, and not afraid to talk to absolutely anyone. This is a paid opportunity. To apply, please email your name, phone number, and social media handles to hello@trilogycasting.com. Yes, it's hilarious. They want your social media handles. If you've said any bad words, obviously they can't use you because, they don't want to film you in an advert, and if someone points out, oh, that guy said the ninja word, he said a naughty word on the internet, he's not allowed to be in polite society, I'm afraid. You can say all kinds of communist bullshit, but you can't say anything on the other side, I'm afraid. But what is this going to be? It's for a deodorant. I think I can tell you right away what this is going to be. So apparently there's a comment there, Madison Gardner, she's interested. I don't think they're going to use an attractive blonde woman in this advert. They want Millwall fans because they want your stereotypical Millwall fans, or let's scrap that, reverse that, stereotypical Millwall fans. They want an ugly, probably fat, scary looking bloke, and I imagine it's going to go something like this. It's either going to be, because it says Millwall fans, not Mill fans, so they want plural Mill fans, so it's either going to be, there's going to be a nerdy looking bloke, maybe with his girlfriend, maybe with not. He's going to be walking down the path behind the den, and then a group of Mill fans are going to be who look like they're trouble. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. They're going to be coming the other opposite direction, and then they're going to see this nerd, and then they're going to start taking the piss out of him, start jabbing at him, and then this nerd, he's going to get out this deodorant, he's going to put it on, and all of a sudden, transformation. All the scary Mill fans are gonna go start mincing around, going, "Oh, you smell good," and then they're gonna leave him alone. Or the other way, they're gonna have the Mill fans, doing Mill things, being a bit leery, being a bit intimidating. They're going to find either some bird or something's going to give them this deodorant. They're going to go, what's this? And then they're going to put it on, and then they're going to go, oh, and then they're going to start smelling themselves. Oh, I smell nicer. Then they're going to start mincing around. It's going to be a transformation. You see this all the time. You see, if you watch adverts, you'll see this. The stereotypes in the adverts are girl boss, dumb dad, and weak men. Or the thing where you got the strong man turns into a mincer, where he puts a dress on and stuff like that. They love doing stuff like that, especially in Hollywood. You get the films. It's a famous trope where they try to get black male actors to start wearing dresses in films. Once you notice it, you see it all the time. So, if this interests you, give it a go. But I mean, I would be a bit wary if I was you. Sounds a bit like a load of old shit. So there you go. Talking of paths around the den. This is from the Daily Millwall Post section, the community section. The path that runs from Oldfield Road, which is slightly across from Surrey Quays train station, tube station, whatever you want to call it, overground station, that goes down to the den, and you can walk to the den from Surrey Quays train station. It says here, this is from an account on X called rRotherhive, but it's WARG info. Someone decided to blog about Rotherhive, probably because they moved there. Transplant from somewhere else in the country. Good news for all our local SE16 cyclists and Millwall FC fans. A pathway running south of Surrey Quays overground station towards Peckham. Well, it doesn't really go towards Peckham, does it? It goes to the Old Kent Road, sort of, and that would be, by the time it gets to that section of the Old Kent Road, that's kind of New Cross, so... that runs alongside the tracks between the recycling plant and the den into Senegal Road, is at last reopened after months of being inexplicably closed. Well, you know what they were doing. Obviously, it was properly closed up because they didn't want people going down there. But what they were doing is they were laying some kind of pipes down there, because you could see it when you went past on the train sometimes. I think in certain directions, because there's different tracks, but you could see there was like a little digger thing in there. All the ground was dug open, the pipes were sticking out. They were doing something with the pipes. So they've completely filled it in, they've relayed it, and I must say, I went down there on Saturday when going to the under-21 game. It's properly well done. Like properly nice job. It's completely flat, level, smooth. And here's the thing: because this section has been closed for a fair old time, it's the only section that doesn't have a load of fucking shit and litter around it. It is litter free, which is nice to see. Because I would say, going from the top of Oldfield Road all the way down, and then even all around the Den, going past the Lions Centre, Ballina Centre, whatever, there's just shit everywhere. There's, litter, empty bottles, your normal litter, etc. But then there's like, black bags have been dumped around there. There's, like broken objects, like I think there was a broken fan and stuff like that, manufactured goods laying around that have just been dumped there. It's really sad to see. It's not good. I don't know if it's something the Mill Community Trust can get onto. I don't think there's any money in it really, but maybe they could get some volunteers. Maybe this male self-help group that they have or whatever. I don't know, they could get some bags and some litter pickers and go around there. Although I would say it's probably about 40% of it's being put there by match goers and 60% just by the people who live in the area, so I mean, it would be nice if it could be cleaned up. But then you would imagine, maybe instead of doing that, volunteering it, just ask the fucking council to do their job. Everyone's paying all this council tax, and you're paying more and more and more, and you're getting less and less and less. Although this is a unique situation that it's on the border between one council and another, so obviously they just neglect it. So I think somebody needs to remind them and tell them to pull their finger out and to do their fucking jobs. So there you go. But the path is open. Why am I showing you this? Boxing Day game. 2 home games coming up. One on Boxing Day, one on Monday the 29th. You're probably going to need to use this. So I don't know if that's why. They told us that it was going to be open next year. So I don't know if they sped it up. Because you probably will need to use this on Friday the 26th, Boxing Day, to get to the game, because South Bermondsey is closed. And we're going to move on to that now. This is from nationalrail.co.uk. Bank holiday information for the London Overground. So on Boxing Day, now here's the thing. The club have been telling people that there's going to be a limited train service on Boxing Day. There isn't going to be a train service on Boxing Day. If you're counting on the train for Boxing Day, there isn't going to be a train service. There is a train service, but it's going nowhere near Millwall Football Ground. They're doing a train service for Southern trains are doing a train service. Southeastern ain't doing jack shit. So if you're coming from Kent, you're getting in a car or you ain't getting there at all. Southern are doing a train for the first time in many, many years, but it's going from Gatwick Airport to London Victoria. And it's going via Clapham Junction and Balham and all the other stations. It's stopping at the stations. It's not going anywhere near Millwall Football Ground. So don't count on that. It's not happening. The Overground is running on Boxing Day because the Overground is a TfL service, and TfL, they do run services on Boxing Day. Some tube lines run on Boxing Day. All of the buses run on Boxing Day, albeit onto a limited timetable. It says here a limited Boxing Day train timetable. So on the line that goes through Surrey Quays, there will be trains, overground trains. They're going to be running between Highbury and Islington and West Croydon. So it's not the one. There's 3 branches after Surrey Quays. It branches down and it goes towards Clapham Junction via Peckham Rye. There's one that goes to New Cross and it stops at New Cross. There's one that goes through New Cross Gate and goes down to West Croydon, and then included in that is one that branches off to Crystal Palace, stops there and comes back. They're running trains between Highbury and Islington and West Croydon, so they'll be stopping at Surrey Quays, they'll be stopping at New Cross Gate. So you can get 2 walking distance of the ground on Boxing Day if you're coming from Highbury and Islington area, and then that's Shoreditch, and then that's Wapping, Rotherhithe, Canada Water, and then from the south, Sydenham, Forest Hill, Penge West, I think Selhurst, Norwood Junction or West Norwood, one of them, and obviously Croydon, but it's West Croydon. So that's how you're going to have to get here by train if you're coming up from Surrey or whatever. So that's what's happening there. And then on Monday, so this is just the overground. On Monday, the 29th, again, there's no overground trains running from Surrey Quays to Clapham Junction. It's replacement buses. So at least there's a replacement bus that is running. Boxing Day there isn't. It says you can travel on the replacement bus service between Canada Water and Clapham Junction via Surrey Quays and Denmark Hill. So they're not running a replacement bus the full length of the line. They're running it from Canada Water, and they're going to make you get off at Canada Water and then get on a train that will take you up. So that's happening on Monday the 29th. And on Monday the 29th, there's no trains at all from London Liverpool Street. The whole station is closed for the whole week, I think. But so that's what's going on. And the club keeps saying, oh, there's limited trains. There is not a train to South Bermondsey. There is not a train to London Bridge. It's all closed. It's all closed. So, do be aware of that. And I would say, I had a look earlier, the club haven't mentioned this to anyone. I think there's probably less than 300 seats available to buy for the Ipswich Town game on Boxing Day. And they're all in the South Stand, the CBL. There are a few in the family enclosure, but they're restricted. You can't buy them unless you're with a kid. So this Ipswich game is nearly sold out, and it's only Sunday, so I would imagine it's probably going to sell out tomorrow. So do be aware of that. If you're watching this and you haven't got a ticket yet, you want to get a ticket for that game, stop watching the video, pause the video, go and buy a ticket now, because it will be gone. And you have no option. You have to sit in the South Stand, CBL, which is the end opposite the away end. So do be aware of that. Now, I told you about this yesterday. We have an update with West Kingsdown, Sevenoaks District Council, pa.sevenoaks.gov.uk, and here we go. The big bone of contention, Condition 9. This has come in. This has been sent in by Millwall. It's been sent back by, I think, Kent County Council, or I think it was them. They've resubmitted some things, and then it's been sent back by the County Council again. And now we have the third time of asking. They've had to submit information to try and get this passed and granted. So here we go. Details to pursuant of Condition 9 Service Water Drainage Scheme. And you can see the 17th of December. And I saw it on the 17th, and I decided to wait until Sunday because it's a hefty thing. It is 37 pages long. 37 pages long. Obviously, they're trying to get this through before Christmas, because I imagine no one in planning at Sevenoaks works over Christmas. I think they're probably all off on their Christmas holidays. But here we go. So yeah, it is Kent County Council. Kent County Council, based in Maidstone, Kent. Well, obviously. Dear Emily, so this is a letter from the company that Millwall are using, EPF Strategies. Or is it EP Strategies? I don't know. They've sent a letter to Kent County Council, because they're the ones complaining. So even though it's going through Sevenoaks District Council, they have to consult with the Environment Agency, who seemingly don't give a shit, but in Kent County Council, who are very concerned about what's going on. So, I am writing to submit a technical note further to our meeting held on the 2nd of December. So here we go. Obviously, this is the third time, 2 times rejected. Someone said, hey, why don't we just have a meeting? Now, whether that was online or in person, I don't know, but 2nd of December, someone said, let's have a meeting and talk face to face, instead of, all right, we submit our plans and then you tell us that they're rubbish. This note addresses the comments set out in your formal response dated the 11th of November 2025 in relation to the proposed service water drainage scheme, etc. for the development, yada yada yada. We refer to your most recent response, which raises concerns regarding the infiltration rates derived from the latest phase of site investigation works. These investigations included infiltration testing at depth to focus on the potential to utilise borehole soakaways at the site. To undertake this testing, boreholes were drilled and the permeability of the underlying strata tested at various depths up to 30 metres. As discussed during our meeting, we are in agreement that the infiltration rates recorded from these additional tests are low, and on that basis, the following approach has been proposed. So the infiltration rates are low, which I assume means it's not going down fast enough. Is that correct? I don't know. I'm not a water scientist, so I don't know. Or what would they call themselves? An aqua scientist? I don't know. It's necessary to first establish a clear understanding of the baseline conditions at the site. This approach allows the existing runoff characteristics and the wider local drainage and flooding context to be properly understood. Yeah, all of this, the reason why they're doing this and the reason why they're so concerned is they don't want flooding. They don't want flooding at all. It's not nice when there's flooding, and if you can prevent it, you should prevent it. It can cause so much damage and upturn so many people's lives. You know, you really don't want this to happen. Not only that, but it's close to the motorway, the important infrastructure of the country, the motorway that goes down to Kent. We cannot have that flooded, can we? No, people, we cannot. This site is located in an interfluve area between dry valleys. I hate dry valleys. And the topography of the site falls generally towards the northwestern corner of the existing field, immediately south and adjacent to Burtley House, the independent school. Ground investigation data confirms that the shallow soils across the site are relatively impermeable, with altered chalk putty overlay with deposits from the clay with flint formation. This leads to a high runoff percentage, particularly so for a site with a chalk catchment. It's clay. You know, we know about this. The reason why, you know, South London doesn't have as many tube lines as the north of London above the Thames, it's the clay. It's hard to dig through. It lets water. It doesn't let the water through. All this kind of stuff. You know, it's a bad thing. It's not good. It's good if you want to make bricks. It's not good if you want to build underneath it. So they're saying, you know, the drainage is poor, and the drainage kind of goes towards the northwest corner. Surface water runoff generated from rain falling onto the site naturally follows the site's topography and drains towards the northwestern corner before flowing onto Fulkham Road. But we can't have that. Where runoff continues northwards along the highway, the flow of water is likely mobilising silt and other particulates from the farmland and the carriageway and transporting them with the runoff both. Google Street View imagery shows silted and blocked gullies along Fulkham Road, as well as the presence of flood warning signage further downhill. These observations are corroborated by direct discussions with Kent County Council highways, which confirm knowing flood issues along this section of Fulkham Road. Basically, it floods because the drainage is poor and it just goes into the road and blocks the drains, and then it floods. Further investigations and liaison with Kent County Council highways confirm that Fulkham Road, together with other local roads and the nearby M20, ultimately drain to a national highways infiltration basin located less than 1 kilometre north of the site. Considering this infiltration basin has been implemented by National Highways to serve a large highway catchment, it is considered likely to exhibit a high infiltration capacity. Historically, Google Earth satellite imagery indicates that the basin remains empty for a majority of the time, which is suggestive of a good infiltration performance. Based on the above, it is evident that significant flows of surface water runoff are likely to flow off of the existing site following high rainfall, and that this runoff is currently draining to the road, whereby it is intercepted and drained by highway drains and discharged into an existing infiltration feature controlled by National Highways. So they're saying the site itself has poor drainage, but where it does drain to, it goes into the road, goes into the drain goes into a basin that's designed to keep rain off the M20, so it's really fucking good. It's top notch. You know, it's over engineered, shall we say. Now all they have to do, obviously you don't want the runoff to go on the surface, you want it to go underneath and then probably into the drainage into the street via pipe. You don't want it to go on the surface. Let's cut out the middleman and just send it underneath. But let's see what they say. Drainage options and prior investigation. So consideration of deep bore soakways has only been reached following a comprehensive and sequential appraisal of all other reasonable available surface water drainage options informed by site constraints and local infrastructure. The following alternative options for draining the site have been explored and discounted. Shallow infiltration, which is multiple ground investigations that are undertaken at the site and confirmed that the shallow soil strata are relatively impermeable, rendering shallow infiltration-based suds unviable. Connection to a watercourse, drain into a river. There are no watercourses in close proximity to the site. Can't do that. Sewer connection. There are no surface water sewers in close proximity to the site available to receive surface water discharge. A southern water sewer network mapped as foul is present to the west of the site, serving the adjacent residential development. It is considered highly unlikely that southern water will accept surface water's discharge of the scale proposed into the existing network. Furthermore, any new connection would require a pump system to be used, and this option is therefore considered both impractical and unsuitable. So yeah, if you didn't know this, obviously the reason why Thames Water seem to be pumping, a load of shit into the rivers and whatnot is that when it rains a lot, that rainwater goes straight into the drains, which goes into the drains, and the sewers aren't connected. They are to some extent, but they're not. They're supposed to be separate. So when it does when the rainwater overflows and goes into the sewers, they have to just let the sewers flow into the water, into the sea and into the river, so to free up the drainage options that we have. As far as I understand, like I said, I'm not an expert. So they're saying they can't tap into the sewer connection because you can't. If you send a fuckload of drainage and rainwater down the sewer, it's going to overload the sewer, which means Thames Water is going to just pump shit into the rivers or wherever that goes. Thames River, probably. Use of highway drains and national highways infiltration basins. So this is the one that they mentioned before, I think. A highway drain controlled by Kent County Council runs northwards along Falcon Road adjacent to the site. Discussions with Kent County Council Highways have confirmed that under no circumstances would discharge be accepted into the highway drainage network unless the development drainage system were adopted by Southern Water and further approval by National Highways, as the system ultimately discharges into the wider road network controlled by National Highways. Given that Southern Water is unlikely to adopt such a system and that approval from National Highways would be both lengthy and uncertain, this option is also considered unattainable. So yeah, we need to ask people for permission, and that's going to take a fucking long time. They're going to be dickheads about it even if they do give permission, so why do that? Let's do something else. Site geology and potential for soakage at depth. Now this is it. You drill down and you let the water go into the rocks underneath. Now that could be a problem if you're on limestone. If you're on certain types of rocks, if you send a load of water under the ground, the water will dissolve the rock and the ground will sink, which I just learned about in a video yesterday on YouTube about the Great Australian Bight. Do you know what that is? That is a limestone block of ground that is the largest in the world, and it is basically thousands of miles long, and it's the reason why there's no cities or towns between Perth and the rest of Australia on the south. You would think, why aren't there any big cities on the southern coast between Perth and Adelaide? Well, because of this big massive rock. It's a flat, a large flat expanse of limestone. It's got caves and stuff underneath. It's not suitable to build on because of it dissolves the limestone, and then the ground on top is not safe. Not only that, but the limestone goes all the way down to the coast and then it drops off to cliffs. So it's cliffs all the way along, thousands of miles of cliffs. So yeah, depending on the rocks under the ground, under the soil, topsoil, it might be a good idea or not a good idea to drill down and send water under the ground. So let's find out. The site is located within an area of North Kent where chalk putty, oh, what a lovely girl, chalk putty, is known to be present both from on-site testing and boreholes drilled during prior exploration of this area. The chalk in this location is underlain by deeper, more competent chalk strata that are known to be strongly fractured and fissured, and is associated with high fracture flow and good infiltration potential. The stronger, more fractured material is located beneath the softer, more putty-like chalk encountered during the latest site investigations. So they're saying there's rock chalk that has holes in it, but it's solid, but it has cracks in it. So that's the thing, like, if it's too brittle, it'll just crack. It won't dissolve, it won't melt, it'll just crack. So they're saying that the chalk, deep chalk, has cracks in it, which means if you send water down there, the water's going to go through the cracks, which is good. Regional geological evidence indicates that fissures within this chalk can exhibit large apertures, that's holes, I think, typically in the order of 50 to 125 millimetres, 2 to 5 inches. Well, I mean, I wouldn't call 2 to 5 inches large, darling, but you do you. Which are typically associated with high infiltration capacity due to the efficient conveyance of water through the fracture network. This information regarding fissure aperture widths is found within records from 3 deep boreholes, records attached, drilled adjacent to the eastern boundary of the site along the M20. These boreholes confirm the presence of strong fissured chalk with wide apertures from approximately 6 to 8 metres below the ground. That's not that far down. 6 metres, you know, the average height of Jake Cooper's probably 2 metres tall. So that's three Jake Coopers standing on top of each other. On this basis, it is strongly inferred that the same competent fractured chalk strata underlie the site, although they have not yet been encountered within the depth of testing undertaken to date. The overlying softer, more compacted chalk is therefore considered to be locally thicker beneath the site. So they think, because obviously this is in more of a flat area, it's a field, which makes it, you know, it's a meadow that is a flat, well, meadow's on a hill, but it's a field, so it's going to be flatter. So that probably means that it's some kind of like ancient floodplains. I mean, the stuff is deeper, the rock is deeper underneath, and they haven't found it yet. How deep? They should probably find it though. I mean, before you say you're going to do something, and like, how far down is it? 10 metres down? 20 metres down? Like, should probably find it before you... Oh, they do mention it. Hang on. Deeper drilling is therefore considered likely to intercept unaltered bedrock at depths of 30 metres plus, based on the current results. So they haven't... So that suggests they've gone down to 20 to 30 metres and haven't found it. But what if they don't find it? What if they keep drilling and they go through to China? Ooh. What if they open up a gateway to hell, like Hellraiser? That should be fun. Next steps. So that's what they want to do, because that's what they want to do. Next steps, agreed solution. Following our meeting, it was agreed that further intrusive investigations would be undertaken to advance boreholes to refusal in order to confirm the presence of the more competent and permeable chalk bin. Yeah, well, like what I just said. Just because you think it's there, why don't we actually fucking find it? Dig down and find it. Constant head infiltration testing would then be carried out within these deeper strata to verify the anticipated significantly higher infiltration rates representative of the deeper geology. Confirmation of these rates will demonstrate the ability of the ground to infiltrate surface water runoff at the rate that is considered acceptable. It was further agreed that this approach will be implemented as part of a phased construction strategy for the development, and that Condition I will be amended accordingly to accommodate this phased methodology and ensure that the tests can be carried out each phase. Hang on, let's read that again. It was further, so they've agreed this already. So the person that they have to get permission from consulted. They're talking to them and they're agreeing. Look, what do we have to do to get you to agree with this? They're going to do a phased construction strategy for the development, and that Condition 9 will be amended accordingly to accommodate this phased methodology. And so it looks like they're going to do section by section they're going to try and then they're going to figure out, okay, we can do it here, we're going to do this here. And then if they have to go, then they move into the next section. So, okay, what are we going to do here? To facilitate this, the development is divided into discrete phases, each forming an independent drainage catchment served by its own standalone surface water drainage system and infiltration features. So there you go. So they're doing it bit by bit. As each phase is brought forward, a borehole cycleway will be installed and subjected to infiltration testing to confirm their infiltration performance. This staged approach will be subject to an appropriate verification process to ensure that the drainage strategy performs as intended and remains compliant throughout the delivery of the development. Interesting, okay. Design update. In order to better reflect the sustainable drainage strategy to be delivered on site, the hydraulic model has been updated, applying an amended assumed infiltration rate. This rate is considered more representative of the competent, strongly fractured chalk known to underlie the North Kent area, where wide aperture fissures facilitate water flows and effective infiltration. The rate has been selected to be lower than typical for these deposits to ensure suitably sized suds are included within the design. Okay, so they're saying we're gonna guess based on the area that we're in that this is typical for the area, but we're gonna assume it's lower, so we're gonna have to maximize what we're doing. We're going to over-engineer it, like I said. To inform this assumption, data from 3 deep boreholes drilled adjacent to the site along the M20 corridor have been utilised to put forward an estimated infiltration rate of 3 times 10 to the power of minus 4 metres per second, equivalent to approximately 1.08 metres per hour. Using this rate, a revised set of hydraulic calculations has been undertaken using causeway flow plus testing the performance of the proposed SUD strategy under these assumed ground conditions. The outputs of these calculations are provided within the enclosed documents alongside an updated surface water drainage layout plan. Hooray! The results demonstrate that when adopting this representative infiltration rate, the number of borehole soakaways required as part of this proposed strategy is significantly reduced. So they don't need to build so many. In addition, the half drain times for all infiltration features are reduced to below the acceptable 24-hour threshold. For the purposes of maintaining a conservative design approach, the storage volumes of the proposed SUDS features have not been reduced. Instead, the drawings illustrate only the anticipated number of borehole soakaways required to achieve compliance based on the rate of 1.08 metres per hour. So yeah, basically you drill down into this chalky, whatever it is, with the apertures, but does it, like, the water's going to get down there, but how quickly does it go through the rock? And it's going to be sitting in that pipe until it drains away. So you need to figure out how quickly it drains away. So how much storage you're going to have at the top? How big is the drain going to be? How much water can it contain at the top while it's waiting to drain away? You understand? Comprende? Should site-specific testing undertaken as part of the phased verification process indicate that additional borehole soakaways are required at any infiltration location, this will be assessed dynamically to ensure that half-drain times across the site remain within acceptable limits and suitable infiltration rates are achieved. Huzzah. Conclusion. Following our meeting, we've provided additional background information on the existing site and baseline conditions, which, with respect to surface water runoff currently draining from the site, it is evident that the available information that there is no viable solution reliant on surrounding drainage infrastructure belonging to private stakeholders, Southern Water, Sewers, Highway Authorities, Kent Highways. A solution relying on infiltration via deep borehole soakaways is therefore considered the most appropriate way to manage surface water runoff discharge from the proposed development. The site geology and details of the chalk provided are based on the on-site investigations and boreholes and geological information from the surrounding area. Boreholes that have been drilled adjacent to the site highlight that at deeper depths, more competent chalk is likely to be present, and thus deeper drilling is likely to penetrate through the weathered putty layer, which is causing the poor infiltration rates. It has been agreed that additional site investigation works will be undertaken as part of a phased approach to development in order to confirm the assumed infiltration rates. A development phasing plan identifying the proposed development elements and the associated SUDS features to be constructed within each phase is provided within the enclosed documents. The surface water drainage design has been updated accordingly. An updated drainage layout plan and causeway flow plus calculations are included within the enclosed documents. I trust that the additional information provided in this letter addresses the concerns that you've raised in regard to the drainage strategy. However, if you have any additional questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me and I would be happy to discuss. Yours faithfully, Hamza Haskari, MPhys, MPhil, Drainage Engineer, Bosch, Avits. So there you go. So this was from a meeting. So this is they've had a tete-a-tete, they've spoken to each other, and it seems that they've agreed this. So now you would imagine that they approve it, because you agreed this in a meeting. So why would you not approve it? So if that goes ahead, obviously you would imagine it's going to be in the new year, January. Then we can start building. I think there's only one more condition that needs to be met, and that's the economic benefit plan for jobs and whatnot. But I don't think they can do that until they know it's going ahead, because then they can appoint a builder, and the builder can then say, oh, we're going to give jobs for this and this and this, you know what I mean? So this seems to be the last domino that needs to fall, and then we can start to build. So let's just scroll through all this shite. I'm losing the will to live looking at these plans. This has been going on for years and years and years, but here we go. Plans are plenty, and it's sideways as well. So yeah, this is where it's all going at the moment. It's going down to this is the northwest, even though because it's been turned sideways, so it doesn't. This is where it's going over here. But you can see they built like a little ditch. The thing that looks like a river is actually going to be a ditch, and if it rains too much, that will get full of water and shit like that. So and you can see the sections. They're going to do it section by section. So they're going to drill the hole. If it's not big enough, they're going to plan what they need to do by each thing. And it says there, a minimum borehole depth of 50 meters. Fucking hell, 50 meters. The other one was only 6 to 8 meters. This is 50 meters down. They really are digging down into the earth. And here's the numbers, which don't mean it could be Chinese for all I get. I don't know what this means. I haven't got a fucking clue. So there you go. Maybe this means something to someone out there. So maybe one of you watching, but this don't mean nothing to me. We've got a little diagram as well. You can see Hamza, he put the effort in. Put a lot of hard work into this. I'm sure he didn't use Jack TCP to do any of this stuff. But as you go down, there's something else down here, I think, but I haven't found it yet. I swear there was something down here. Keep scrolling. I think there's something right at the end. Oh, here we go. So this is British Geological Survey, and this was done in 1970. This was done when they opened the motorway, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute. I'm pretty sure the motorway is older than 1970, and then I go on Wikipedia and I find out, they opened it section by section. So where you got like junction this to junction that, they built it in stages and they just opened the fucking motorway. Like, that would have been a fun driving back in the day when you drove on the motorway and then it just stopped and they were still building parts of it and it just stopped and you went onto a normal road. So yeah, apparently Valentine's Day 1970 we got the borehole log from the Kent County Council when they were building the M20, and we got all this stuff. So this is what they were basing it on. What they've gone back through the archives and found this, and borehole number 312, 312.1. I don't know if that means they've done 312. Borehole number 327. So yeah, depth about OD or below ground level, and it looks like they went down to 9 meters. And you can see as it goes down, the clay with flints was 2.29 meters deep. From then to down to 8.99 was strong chalk fissured, scale light, moderate in. What the fuck does that say? Iron standing throughout, or iron staining. So basically, got rusty chalk. Scattered flints, chalk medium, strong above 3 meters and below 8 meters. Weathered upper chalk. So that's, if it's rusty, what does that mean? It means the rain has got into it, and the water is draining through it, it's taking iron with it, and which is making it rusty. It's getting weathered from the weather going through it. And then below that, medium strong chalk as below. Is this the same thing? Oh, this is the same thing. It's going down. End of borehole. So they drilled down to 15.24 meters. Interestingly, they were still using meters in 1970. They were using meters. They weren't using. Well, it's got both there. It's got 50 inches. So I guess they were doing both. But meters is first. I guess, meters and millimeters. That's like more scientific to some extent. Medium strong, becoming strong chalk, fissured on 4-inch scale with light iron staining throughout, scattered flints. Borehole remained dry during boring. So what that means is, as they were drilling down, there wasn't any water deposits going into the borehole. So that meant, it didn't go down and then sideways and it stayed in the rock. It went down and went down, down, down and went away. It was dry. So there you go. And that's the latest from West Kingsdown. And obviously today is Sunday, the day after a game, and I have to do it because here we go. If you're still watching, if you haven't fallen asleep, here we go. This will certainly make you fall asleep. What went wrong then? Can we find out via the medium of stats? This is stats from Blackburn 2, Millwall 0. And as you can see, Blackburn got a lot of strengths, but Millwall stole the ball often from the opposition. But we were poor at finishing, we were aggressive, we gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, we were caught offside often, we committed a high number of individual errors. We played with width, we had a large quantity of possession in our opponent's half, we favoured long shots, we attacked down the right hand side, we favoured crossing the ball, and we favoured long balls. So there you go. And as you can see, the top performers by rating, shots, tackles and dribbles, by rating, it is all Blackburn. They had quite a fair old few shots as well. But there you go. So attempts on goal is 11 for them, 10 for us, 8-6 open play, 3-3 set piece, 0-1 counter attack. They got 2 goals from 11 shots, which is an 18% conversion rate. Yeah, that's quite high for this level. Obviously, we got 0 from 10s, and that's 0%. We were mostly going down the right hand side, which wasn't working, and it was clear it wasn't working because he took him off at half time. He took a Mako off time. I don't know why he switched him from the left to the right. They've got a backup. They had a backup right back in because their first choice right back's off at AFCON with Nigeria. Why would you not put him up against him? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it seemed to me like Amaku was like trying to do what he normally does, and he had to process it. Oh, I'm going the other way this time. I'm not doing this. I'm doing the other thing. So it just wasn't working. So I don't know why they didn't switch around after about 15 minutes. But he took him off at half time. Took both of them off at half time. Took Ballo off as well, didn't he? Shot directions. Shot zones. 50-50 in the box and outside the box. Action zones. Mostly in the middle of the park, which is unfortunate because we don't have... Well, we did have Billy Mitchell, but we're struggling. And they overloaded the midfield. You can see it there. They literally overloaded the midfield. They played, 5-3-2? And those 2 dropped deep, so it was a circle of 5 in the middle to overload the midfield. And then you compare that with the Millwall lineup, which obviously is skewed because we changed things around at half time. But yeah, there's a massive gap in the middle because you got number 4 and number 2 over to the side. You got number 5 and 7 over there, and 3 as well. But yeah, this is the average position over the 90 minutes. So when you change it at half time, it affects it. 22 is Amaku, 9 is Ivanovic, 3 is Sturge. 5 is Cooper, 4 is Kramer, 2 is Danny Mack, 7 would have been Ballo. Why is he so deep? 10 is Negley, 8 is... Who's 8? Who is 8? Is it 8 is Billy Mitchell? 14... forgotten who... 14's Doughty, isn't it? Is 14 Doughty? 7 Doughty. 7's definitely Ballo. I think 14's Doughty. So there. Oh, we'll find out in a minute when we go on to this. Also from whoscored.com. Here's the match centre. Obviously, they scored after 3 minutes. Lovely, You sit down to watch the game with a drink, and then as soon as you get comfortable, bosh, we're losing. And then second half, just before half time, they score again. A gift. Both of the goals were gifts. Changes at half time, which is good to see. With 2 goals down at half time, do something. Don't just send them out with a flea in their ear, hoping that they figure it out. And Amaku comes off, Sturge comes off, Ballo comes off, and Taylor, Bryan, and Langstaff come on. And then furthermore, pre-programmed substitution, Leonard and Billy Mitchell, that was pre-programmed. But at the same time, the Bangor Williams one. And that's it. Your 5 substitutions. Could have saved that and could have done another one later on. Could have done the Ryan Leonard, Billy Mitchell one there and then one more later on. But no. But what that does then, all of our subs have been made. So that they know what we're doing. Although, this is straight after, so I don't think it was... I don't think they it was in reaction to that. But shortly after, they make their 3 subs and then they make another sub later on. So, and a sub right at the end to waste time, even though that just added time on. Right, and you're winning. Why are you doing that? That's really stupid, but they did win the game. So we have an error, a red E. An error has been given to Danny McNamara 5.2, but not to Crocombe. Not to Crocombe. An error has not been given to Crocombe from whoscored.com. Personally, and a lot of Mill fans, they think that was an error from Crocombe. I've got to agree with them. I understand what went on. The guy was very close and he shot it, and I think Crocombe was expected to be, come with a bit more fizz, but it didn't. It was kind of soft. But he was already going down to save it with his hands. And because it was so soft, it just bounced off his hands without any power straight into the path of the Blackburn player to tap it in. If he wouldn't have gone down and just saved it with his feet, maybe he could have kicked it out. But obviously, he expected it to be coming faster. But it didn't. So that was interesting. That they haven't given that to him. Who else have we got? So, who's the highest rated Millwall player? Doughty with 7.1. He is number 14. Yeah, he is number 14. We've got, Kramer with 7.0. And, there's not much to choose from, is there, really? It was poor all round. Good to see Billy Mitchell back, hopefully he came through it okay, but we'll see. And Ryan Leonard's back as well, but they've got a few days until the game on Friday. Can they both be fit to play in the middle, and then Doughty can go over and play either outside left or left back, and we can have players playing in the position. That would be good. Maybe give us our best chance of winning that game, but you never know. So if you look at the club badges, top left, top right, you see the average player rating for each team. It's 6.88 for Blackburn, 6.3 for Millwall. So that's quite a gap at this level, 0.5 over the whole team. That is, we were outclassed basically. And you think, well, we had a go in the second half, but they were 2-0 up, and much like the whole game, they were 2-0 up and they just sat back. They were defending a 2-goal lead. And even at the end, they had a few moments of their own where they were coming on the break, because we were putting so much pressure on that they were trying to catch us on the break, especially after they brought on the fresh legs of the players when they made their substitutions. So let's look at the shots. Who had the shots for us? Ivanovic with 2, Doughty with 2, Amaku with 1, Negley with 1, Cooper with 1, and then obviously the subs. Taylor's chance being I think probably the one that was, if that would have went in, that probably could have changed the game, but it didn't. So, and here we go again, yet another game where we have more possession and we don't win the game, we lose the game. Anytime we have more possession in the game, more often than not, we lose the game. Because, we can't pass. We can't string 2 passes together. We can't string, so we give the ball away and they counter-attack us. Or we pass it around. Everyone bombs forward because we're passing it around up front. Someone fucks up and passes the wrong way. There's massive gap at the back. Boom, the opposition's away. So this is Doughty was on the ball almost 8.5% of the match time. That's a lot. That is a lot. That is a lot. I think that's the most in the game, isn't it? Basically. Of all the players, us and them, 8.5% of the match time was with him on possession. But the pass success percentage pretty low for both teams, 64 to 66. Billy Mitchell up there, as usual, with 83%. What have we got? Negley with 75, Crammer with 70, Crocombe with 42, their keeper with 13. Ivanovic with 36. Yikes. That's Bangor Williams there with the 100 on the bench. Langstaff with 75, Taylor with 76. And who's there off to the side? Joe Bryan 77. Dribbles 4 to 7. Negley with 2 and Macker with 2. Aerials 125 to 44. So oh fucking hell, what's going on here? McLaughlin with 10 aerials 1. Ivanovic with 10 aerials 1. So hang on a minute. So how can Ivanovic win 10 aerials when the other centre backs won 10 aerials? So that Ivanovic is probably something like 10 and 10 then. Interesting. The other centre backs didn't win any aerial duels. Doughty won 5. McNamara won 2. One of them the one where he headed it into the goal. Cooper with 7. Crammer with 8. Sturge with 4. Good to see him putting himself about. Even with a concussion, winning Phil. Tackle 17 to 17. Corners 3 to 6. These are the players who won the corners. Dispossessed 6 to 10. That's not a good stat. That means having the ball taken off of you. So there you go. So moving on to this from whoscored.com as well. Basically what we've just seen. Let's have a little look. Blackburn shots. Was it 11? 11 shots. How many on target? 5. How many goals? 2. So that's pretty much the golden ratio. The golden ratio picks it up following the stats. For however many shots you have, half of them should be on target. Half of them should be goals. If you do that, if you hit that metric, you are running on top notch. That's top notch performance. So let's say you have 12 shots, you have 6 on target, and you score 3 goals. You are humming along brilliantly. But that's Blackburn, that's not us. How many did we have on target? We only have 3 shots on target. So we had 10 shots, 3 shots on target, 0 goals. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. What are we going to look at? Ratings wise, 2 players with 7s. Alfred Doughty 7.11. Cramwell 7.04. Got booked. Ivanovic 6.72. He did have his moments in that game. Did play a bit better to some extent. Maku 6.5. Interesting. He's still got a 6.5. He came off at half time because he wasn't playing that good. He was our 4th best rated player according to this website. He was number 4. And his replacement, which would have been, who would you say was his replacement? I don't know because they kind of changed it around, but probably Langstaff. And he's at the bottom, 6.08. Yikes. Billy Mitchell 6.42. Solid performance from him. put himself about, ran around a lot, got on the ball, kept the ball. Good to see. 6.38 from Jake Cooper. Sturge, again, half a game, 6.33. He didn't get overtaken by Joe Bryan. Probably because Joe Bryan got a yellow card that knocked his score down. It was close. It was 6.33 to 6.30. Joe Bryan had 27 touches of the ball. Zach Sturge had 29. Joe Bryan had a better passing accuracy. 76 to 69, although how many passes was that? Aerials 1, Joe Bryan 0, Zach Sturge 4. So that's interesting. At the bottom, Max Crocombe 6.03. They had, how many shots they had on the target again? 5, wasn't it? So they scored 2 from 5. I mean, that's a bit. And obviously, with the error, Danny Mack 5.22. Not looking good. Not looking good, is it? Everyone, our 3 right back options are Danny McNamara. Or it's Crammer, really. I mean, probably time to put Crammer back in at right back. It just works. I mean, I know he doesn't like being a right back, but it's just it works. So you've got Danny Mack at right back. You've got Ryan Leonard at right back. You've got Wes Harding at right back. And let's be honest, I think they're not of the standard. They're not of the standard or top of the championship. Ryan Leonard is decent championship right back, but he's 33. Yeah, he's not the future. Danny Mack, I think something's been lost, if it was there at all. And Wes Harding, I think he's League One, really, to be honest. Here's the thing. League One means that where would they perform brilliantly? If Danny McNamara was in League One, he would be an outstanding right back, wing back at League One. He would be top of League One. But top of League One is also bottom of the Championship. Teams that come up from the League One, they tend to be at the bottom of the Championship, such as Oxford. So, I'm not saying like, oh, he's shit. He'll be very, very good in League One. That's why you're saying, oh, he's of a League One standard. Like, he'll be very, very good in League One. But is he a championship? Is he top of the Championship? I don't think so. I don't think so. And a lot of the fans are saying, what do we need for the January transfer window? We need a right back, and we need a striker. We need, you got Coburn out. If Coburn's going to come back, if he comes back, he comes back. We still need someone else, like a striker, like a centre forward striker, target man striker, whatever, sort of. And Turno Ballon 5.95. So you could probably say he deserved to come off at half time, but probably not Amaku. Probably just switch him over. But they changed formation as well, so that's why they came off, really. So there is that. While we're here, is this going to load? No. Let me just refresh. Try it again. Oh. Cookies? Do you want a cookie? No, I don't want a cookie. I'm fat enough as it is. How many times were we offside then? 3 times. 3 times. That's a lot. That's a lot for a game. How many times were they offside? Is this going to load? 0. Yeah, I mean, we're offside all the time. Offside all the time. And that's, the thing with the passing, like, we can't string 2 passes together. That's part of it as well, getting offside. They just can't seem to manage it. It's not like, here's the thing, I'm a big advocate. If you're trying to shorten the game, Neil Harris style, Gary Rowett style, tell your forward to get in an offside position. They lump it up to him. Oh, he's offside. Oh, dear. And then you're playing someone like Southampton or Swansea who tippy-tap it out from the back. They're never going to pump it long. That's a decent strategy to play against them. Get yourself offside. Get it from our area up to their area. Oops. Oh, they have to have a free kick in their own 18-yard box. Off you go. Crack on with it. But this is genuinely, like, just shitness, isn't it? It's just shitness. Just Can't string 2 passes together. What are we doing? Defensive work. Who did what? Tackles. Jake Cooper with 3. Billy Mitchell with 3. 63 minutes on the pitch. Crammer with 2. Zach Sturge with 2. 45 minutes on the pitch. Doughty with 2. Negley with 2. 64 minutes on the pitch. Interceptions. 3 from Crammer, 2 from Cooper, 2 from Billy Mitchell. So Billy Mitchell put in a heck of a shift. There you go. Clearances, 9 from Crammer, 4 from Cooper, 2 from Sturge, 2 from Brian, and then a lot of singles. Block shots, just the 2 from 2 substitutes, Leonard and Bangor Williams. So there you go. Let's move on now to this from fbref.com. We're going long. It's been an hour already. If you're still watching, God bless you. God bless you. So the XG from this game was 2.5 for Blackburn, 0.5 for Millwall. Basically, it came out as the XG came out, 2-0 to Blackburn Rovers. That was what the score should have been, and that's what the score was, based on the chances created. There's the match events again. Possession 44 to 56. Passing accuracy 65 to 64. Shots on target 45% to 30%. 5 of 11 for them. 3 of 10 for us. Their keeper made 100% saves. Our keeper made 60% saves. Fouls 9 to 18. Corners 3 to 6. Crosses 8 to 23. Wow. We crossed the ball into their area 23 times. Touches of the ball 482 to 529. Tackles 18 to 15. Interceptions 14 to 11. Aerials 122 to 41. Yo, double. Clearances 41 to 23. Again, double. They were under the cosh. Offsides 0 to 3. Goal kicks 6 to 8. Throw-ins 27 to 32. Long balls 78 to 106. 106 long balls. That's Blackburn, and this is Millwall. Total XG was 0.5, and 0.2 of that came from Caleb Taylor. And then you've got 0.1 from Ivanovic, 0.1 from Negley, and 0.1 from Doughty. Not a lot going on. Shot creating actions, 2 offensive actions directly leading to a shot. Doughty with 5, obviously he was on the set pieces, he was on the corners and whatnot. And then Ivanovic with 2, and then Jabran with 2, Cooper with 2, Crammer with 2. Okay. Let's move on to the passing. Anything stand out here? Again, Ivanovic's passing is just dog shit. 45% on his short passing, 33% on his medium passing, and 66 on his long passing. So he attempted 27 passes, only completed 9. Yikes. Oh, Jesus, here we go. The one-man show. This is Alfie Doughty show. Here we go. Total distance in passing. 64 passes attempted, 38 completed, 59.4 completion percentage. Obviously, that probably includes corners and whatnot and such. 982 yards distance in passing. 308 yards of that was progressive distance towards the opponent's goal line. That is insane. It was literally give the ball to Doughty and get him to pass it to someone. 982 yards of passing. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he's going to have a breakdown in soon if they keep doing that. Like, that's insane. Because you can see that obviously the defenders, they do a lot of passing because there's no one around them. They have to pass it from side to side really and bomb it forward as well. But I mean, for a midfielder to have put out these numbers, the next nearest Billy Mitchell 538, but only 105 of that was forward. So he's picking up the ball and he's passing it back to the keeper, back to the defenders. But this is a lot. This is a lot, really. Yeah. Anyone else stand out? Not really. Bangor Williams, 100% on his passing. But he had 26 minutes on the pitch. 26 minutes, he only made 6 passes. So, because obviously Doughty's getting on the ball, Bangor Williams isn't getting on the ball. So he can't do anything with it. which is a shame because, you know, he's got an eye. He can pick out a pass as well. You know. Pass types. Yeah. That's there if you want to look at it. Pause it. Tackles that were made. We only made... We've tried... Let's have a look. Number of players tackled. Tackles 1. Which got the possession of the ball. 15. So obviously you tackle someone doesn't mean you always get the ball. But we tackled 15 times. Got the ball 8. And it was... These were the tackles. Only two tackles in the attacking third. One was from Bengal Williams. One was from Ivanovic. These are pretty good numbers, by the way, in terms of tackles. Tackles attempted, tackles 1. 100%. 1 of 1 Negley. 1 of 1 Bengal Williams. 2 of 2 Doughty. 2 of 2 Mitchell. 2 of 3 for Sturge. 0 of 1 for Brian. 1 of 2 for Crammers. And that's 50%. Possession. Take-ons. So dribbling... Number of attempts to take on defenders while dribbling. Ivanovic 1 of 1, 100%. Turno Ballo, so here we go. Another poor stat for Ballo. Tried it twice, was successful 0 times, got tackled both times. So again, why don't you switch him with Ivanovic? Why did you not switch him with Amaku? Why did you put him on that side? Yeah, it wasn't working. Switch him back. Amaku 5 and 2. Even on the wrong side, he still got 2 successful. Negley 2 and 2. Zach Sturge 2 and 0. So again, he was trying to dribble past someone. He didn't get past him. He did it twice. But Joe Bryan did. So maybe that's why he came off. Maybe that explains why that happened. Maybe they were supposed to be dribbling past them and whipping crosses in. That was the plan. Oh my God, these numbers are poor. These numbers are poor. Over here, if you look at the carries, over here. Carries of the ball. How many times did each player get on the ball? Mihajlo Ivanovic is on the pitch for 90 minutes. He got on the ball 10 times. 10 times. 10 carries of the ball. 21-yard distance for 10 yards forwards towards the opponent's goal line. He got on the ball every 10 minutes. Once every 10 minutes. That's poor. Because he was on the pitch for 90 minutes. Ballo was on for 45. Langstaff was on for 45. Maku on for 45. Taylor on for 45, although he's a defender, so it's different. Ballo, 8 carries for 42 yards, 7 yards progressive distance. Langstaff, 8 carries, 36 yards, 3 yards progressive distance. Maku, 8 carries of the ball for 74 yards, 34 yards forward. Negley, who was only on the pitch for 64 minutes, 10 carries, the same as Ivanovic, 80 yards distance, 57 yards forward. Yeah, these numbers ain't good. These numbers are not good. These are really low, just in terms of getting on the ball and moving it around. Because we had possession, we just had possession of the ball. You know, we were allowed to get the ball and pass it around and at the back and all that shit. So there was no getting on the ball and moving it around or running with it, really. I mean, it's just not good at all. Miscellaneous stats. Okay, here we go. So they're saying he only won 9, not 10. The other website had 10. So he was 56% win rate. He won 9 and lost 7. Did Ivanovic in terms of aerials. He fouled 2 times, got fouled once, offside once. He won 1 tackle. Recovered the ball once. Loose ball recovered. 33 loose balls recovered. 9 from Billy Mitchell, 4 from Doughty. 3 from Ballo. 3 from Negley. 3 from Cooper. And 3 from Danny Mack. Alfie Doughty, 5 aerials, 100%. Negley was 2 and 2, 50%. So there you go. You get the idea with that. The goalkeeper, shots on target against 5, goals against 2, saves 3, save percentage 60%. High save percentage 60%. Post shot XD was 2.5. Launch percentage on his passing was 72%. No throws, 25 kicks. Average length 46.6 yards. Yeah, he was kicking it a bit weird. I think he was probably being told to kick it a bit shorter. Try and not kick it too far. His goal kicks 87.5 were long, 8 goal kicks, 58 yards average length. Only 7 crosses from Blackburn into the area. He came out and stopped one of them. Stop percentage of 14.3. Average distance from the goal line 4 yards. 4 yards. He didn't come out, did he? Well, except for that time when he did, and then Danny Mack headed it into the goal, where it would have went into the goal. But you can see here, we don't have our first shot until 14 minutes in. And that was saved from Amaku, 23 yards left-footed. So these are all from far away. Negley, 13 yards left-footed. Ivanovic, 18 yards left-footed. That got saved. Negley was off target. And then 26 minutes, they had a shot that got saved from 33 yards. And then between the 26th minute and the 45th minute, there weren't any shots. Yeah, and then they score right at the end. 2-yard tap-in from the Japaneser because Danny Mack headed it towards an empty net. Thank you so much. We could have done without that. I think if we were only a goal down, but then here's the thing: if we were only a goal down, would the changes be made at half time? I'm not too sure. They did improve us, but again, Blackburn probably would have played a bit better. They wouldn't have played so defensively in the second half. But you can see here. So what was actually our best chance? What was our best chance? The Caleb Taylor chance, 0.17, and that was the one that was closest. 6 yards header. The rest are from far away. That was the closest one. And then after that, Negley 0.1. Yeah, it wasn't good, was it? If we go back to that, second half, Blackburn they got a shot in the 51st minute, a shot in the 69th minute, a shot in the 74th minute, and then round about here they made the subs, and at the end, 83 minutes and 90 minutes, they're going for it, and they have a few shots. So there you go. Let's another trip to Ewood Park to forget. A lot of fans upset that we didn't win there, but it's Ewood Park, it's Blackburn Rovers. That's what we do. Famously said Danny Shittu. That's what we do. Yeah, we lose at Ewood Park, and we play poorly as well. So we wait to see if the players are infused with a top of table clash against Ipswich at home on Boxing Day. Hopefully they are. Maybe the club can buy them pizza if they win the game. Promise everyone a nice, lovely pepperoni pizza if you win. Or a pizza per person, Get some carbs into you. And let's crack on. By the way, the Ipswich game is a 1 o'clock kickoff. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.